out to her and I asked her about that. And then I reached out to someone else who was going to the party. Oh, Pasha got bomb lamb chops, y'all. So I was excited to go eat at Pasha. But anyway, I was like, I thought she said be here at 7. And that person said, well, no, she sent me a screenshot on Thursday and said the dinner is for 8 o'clock. Mind you, it was storming in Atlanta. So I was like, didn't really want to be out anyway, but I wanted to support her. Now, I already knew that Trina was going to be there. Like I have said, Trina is her house pet at this time. So anywhere she goes, of course, Trina will also have to be there. So I knew that Trina was going to be there, and I was open to being cordial with Trina. Let's be very clear. Cordial does not mean that me and Trina were going to sit at the table and laugh and joke and do that. But I saw Trina at the gala, and I didn't fuck with her. She didn't fuck with me. And so I was open to kind of doing the same thing at the restaurant. We basically see each other, but we don't speak to each other. I was cool with that. I was there to support Essence. What made me not want to attend the event was that when I was in that live, I think his name is Motif's live, I saw AJ saying, I'm leaving the house and I'm on my way. At that time, I really wasn't feeling AJ, I'm going to be honest, because AJ, to me, has a very big voice on the platform. And AJ has repeatedly lied on me. When I was gone, she was calling me the opposition. If anybody remembers, I came back several times and got in the box with the opposition. Like, I kept trying so hard to dispel that, to let people let me go. Like, I'm taking a break, leave me the fuck alone. Well, then, when that dies down, this Cookie character pop up. Now you're on your live saying I'm Cookie, and people are sending me her live saying they talking about you in the live, they saying you Cookie. And it's like, why do you keep doing this? I don't disrespect you. And I'm being so honest, I don't understand how this platform works. Because some of y'all have let people talk about your kids, talk about y'all parents. They have went to hell with you. And y'all will cuss each other out and laugh and joke by Friday. I've done none of that to some of y'all. And you continue to fuck with me and say my name and talk about me. And it's like, what have I even done to you? So my thing with AJ is like, what have I even done to you for you to want me to be these weird ass pages so bad? Like, do you just say my name because it's just some shit that you want to do, or do you have a personal issue? So when I saw her saying she was coming to the birthday party, I was like, yeah, I'm good on that. Because now you want me to sit across from Trina, and I may watch The Color Purple from time to time, but I don't want to do a meet and greet with Celie. So you want me to sit across from Trina.
Oh my God.
And then you want me to sit across from AJ, and I just wasn't in the space to kind of play that fake shit. And what I mean by play that fake shit is, a lot of y'all would do shit on this app, and then y'all see people in person, and it's like, oh my God, how you been, friend? Oh my God, let me take a hug with you. You know, like I listened to the live earlier, Susu's live, and they was talking about how bad my wigs are and how I'm so ugly and all this kind of stuff. But when I met these same people in person, it was like, Peach, let's take a picture. Like, Peach, I fuck with you. Peach, you cool. So I just didn't want to do that. Like, until me and her had a conversation and she can tell me what her real issue is with me, I didn't want to go to that girl birthday party and be at the birthday party trying to have a goddamn one-on-one with somebody. So I just said I was good on going. That never came to TikTok. I never went on a panel and talked about that shit. Told her I wasn't going. That was the end of it. Essence is the one who brought it to TikTok and made it a topic. And when she made it a topic, Laugh, aka Barney Rubble, because that's whose live they was on, she makes the comment, well, I don't go to Nitra live because Peach be over there. Now, this is what I was told. If Laugh didn't say that, I want to see her live. She can't tell me she didn't say that. I want you to post that conversation and let me hear that you didn't say that out of your mouth. And if she did not say that, I will give her an apology. You said she said it?
She said it.
Okay, well, thank you. Because when she went into Susu's live, she swore up and down, I haven't spoke on him. He just want to talk about me. He want to come at me. I don't want to come at you. You can't even find a man that wants to come in you. So there's no smoke there. I last talked to Laugh in March, and we were in a good space. I've seen her from time to time, and that's what it was. Like, we had no issues between us. But when I was told that she was talking shit about me on your live, yeah, I'm gonna pop my shit. So I was outside Susu's live in the hallway, and I heard Braid King saying, I guess it was a troll page in the comments, and he's like, "That's Icon Peach," and you know he get to going on his rant. And when he was saying stuff, I said, "Hold on, let me go on the panel." And so that's how I even got in her panel. And I did want to give Susu her warns because I did like her silk press. I'm going to give a bitch her credit when it's due. And so I was talking to them. Oh. And when I got down, that's when Barney Rubble came up. And I was like, oh, this is funny to me that you couldn't come up when I was in the panel, but now you want to come up when I leave. And you're talking about Nitra. Nitra's a grown woman that can defend herself. But like I said, Laugh had already said some shit about me earlier that morning. So I feel like it was the right space and opportunity to address it. And so I came back up and that's what I did. And I will say that read yesterday was one of my best. I'm very proud of that read. I hope y'all retweet it and repost it. And I don't give a damn what a bitch got to say. It was good to me. It was beautiful. And it was long overdue. Because I feel like I allowed motherfuckers to play with me back in October and spread a false ass narrative. And I just left. I didn't even try to fight it. I just let motherfuckers spread the bullshit and I left. At the end of the day, the same shit that people try to say I do or I have said, others have done and said, and it's never a fucking problem. In fact, y'all laugh and joke about it. I will never take you motherfuckers serious when it comes to accountability because y'all change the narrative depending on who you fucking like. If you like that person that's saying this shit, it's not a problem. If you don't like the person, all hell breaking loose. And that's with multiple situations. Y'all was rallying behind Little Touch last week. Oh, she's so disrespected. This is a woman. This is a grandmother. It was all this outrage. And now I'm seeing people tell her to shut the fuck up this morning in Tea Time Live, talking to her crazy in the comments. Little Touch, shut up. You talk too much. But just last week, y'all was her best motherfucking friend and was outraged the FOE. Like, it's bullshit. Okay. It's bullshit. So I don't take that accountability shit serious. You can't hold me accountable for shit that you can't hold your bestie, your top gifter accountable for. Y'all pick and choose who y'all want to try to condemn and who y'all want to let slide with shit. So respectfully, when it comes to these people, stay in y'all lane and I'ma stay in mine. When Essence came to laugh loud with that bullshit, her response should have been, I ain't speaking on him. If she had such an issue with me, I ain't finna speak on him. Next topic. But my thing with Laugh is every 2 or 3 business days, you don't know where we are. On Monday, you cool with me. On Wednesday, you talking shit about me. On Friday, you miss our friendship. On Sunday, I was such a bad friend to you. What's the narrative? What's the storyline here? Because it's too many at one time.
Sound like a job to me.
It is a job. And I'm tired. I'm tired. I done worked overtime in this situation. Because if I remember, you told me back in October when you was dragging me, oh, he's predatory to all these straight men. He shouldn't be on the app. You told me you was done with me in October. And then when I started coming back slowly, remember when I was kind of popping up every now and then? Oh, Peach, I done missed you. Oh, Peach, I hate how it was. Me and you should have had a conversation. Like, you don't know what you want to be. And I'm going to say this because I feel like motherfuckers is streaming and recording. I'm going to just put this on the floor because I'm tired of the bullshit. The real reason me and Trina even have a issue with each other is because of Laugh. Now, Trina, because she got all this animosity towards me, and like I told somebody privately yesterday, at this point, we done went the hell on each other. So I'm not even saying Trina shouldn't feel no way. We done went the hell on this motherfucker. But if we really sat down and could have a mature conversation, the source of our issues stemmed from her. Because she was the middle person. And she was the one telling me, why is Trina texting me about you? I don't fuck with her. Why she on my phone talking about why I'm doing stuff with you? I don't fuck with her. And making me feel like Trina was hounding her and pounding her. So in defense of my friend, I was shading Trina and treating Trina a certain way because from what I'm being told from her, she don't fuck with you. But the whole time, they still having conversations back and forth. They still developing or working on some kind of fucking friendship. So you're really the source of me and that girl's issues. But you would sit back and act like you don't know shit. Oh, I don't know why they don't like each other. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I just want to laugh. You just full of shit. You just want to crowdfund and motherfucking beg. You put out an accusation on me yesterday and said I've slept with multiple men on the platform. I'm waiting for you to say these multiple men's names. Because Braid King kept asking you to say the names yesterday and you kept skipping around. Oh, well, it's not this one. It's not that one. Who are they? You said you had multiple names. The bloggers recorded and reposted it. You said there were multiple men that you know I have slept and sucked on off the app. I'm waiting for you to say their names. And I challenge each of those men to then come to Dallas and find you. Because it's a fucking lie. You're not going to keep lying on me and putting bodies on me because you can't hold your own in a read-off. You put a narrative out there yesterday. I've given you all this money. I've given you all this money. I literally went to my Cash App because I was like, let me see how much money this girl done gave me. Laugh done cashed out me 2 fucking times. And it didn't even go over $100. In our friendship, you damn right it was times I said, friend, send me whatever. I did do that. I don't give a fuck. That was my friend. I thought that was my friend. The same way she done went to motherfuckers and said, hey, give me X, Y, and Z. So don't try to play in my motherfucking face like you was paying my rent for me. Laugh, can you send me $2,000? Girl, get the fuck. It was never on no shit like that, boo. It was never on no shit like that. Again, you threw some shit out there because I was eating your ass up and you wanted to embarrass me. You're the same woman who sat on my motherfucking phone and told me verbatim, Peach, these people see you with these men on this app and they get bothered by that because they can't understand why these straight men want to be cool with you. But now that you don't fuck with me, oh yeah, he been trying to get with the straight man and he been liking all the straight men and I've been feeling away. I honestly feel like you probably one of my biggest motherfucking ops. Cause now that I look at how this shit playing out, you probably was one of the motherfuckers on the back end keeping that narrative going. Let's clock it. You talking about it was everybody else, it probably was your motherfucking ass. Especially with that one dumbass nigga, I believe you was in his ear telling him bullshit. Cause you told me yourself he was cash apping you. So maybe you feel like, oh, you ain't finna fuck up my cash app. Shit, let me get you out the way. At the end of the day, I got with Nitra. I made friends in FOE. And I removed myself out of a lot of this bullshit. Didn't come in y'all lives. Didn't come in y'all spaces. Manny, it's been me. And I love you down, Manny. I met you. I fell in love with you. Because I feel like you were such a sweet person. And I realized a lot of what you do on TikTok is character work. Because in real life, you a sweetheart. But it's been times they done sent me your live, Peach, Manny live, coming here, da-da. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to stay out of that. I'm going to leave it alone. Because I don't want to get in messy talk. I'm going to stay over here in FOE and just stay over here. Because there's enough going on over here. So I didn't need to, quote unquote, step back in it and get into it with Laugh or any of those people. But y'all not gonna keep lying on me and spreading these false ass fucking narratives. So again, like I said, you opened your mouth and said you had all these men names I done slept with. I want you to say their fucking names. Don't spare me. He better watch what I say. I'ma do it. Do it. I'm telling you to do it. Cause you don't have no fucking names. But you threw that shit out there because you was trying to be fucking messy. I watched you with your fat fucking neck sit on that fucking live and allow them women to say fireman name, so cold. They were just saying all these names in the comments. You sitting up there not even saying shit, knowing you dead ass fucking wrong. You are a friend to nobody because you can't be a friend to yourself. You was never my motherfucking friend. And most of these motherfuckers I was sitting up trusting as motherfucking friends wasn't no motherfucking friend. You're a leech. You're a bottom feeder. I came into your platform and we laughed and giggled and the numbers went up. And you said, oh, I can fuck with him because he helped me keep people in my room. Because when I came into your lives, the only time you had a lot of people in that motherfucker was when you was putting on them 27 pieces. And she said, I have the most fucked up wigs and I be looking like the Cowardly Lion. For me to look like the Cowardly Lion, baby, you sure was in every motherfucking selfie I wanted to take. You never told me to my face I look like the motherfucking Cowardly Lion. Oh, friend, you cute. Oh, I love this. You're full of shit. But I love being a Cowardly Lion because The Wizard of Oz is 100 years old and it's an iconic movie, bitch. So the shade don't fuck with me because I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I wasn't investing hundreds of dollars to go get my motherfucking wig glued on to come to no motherfucking gala for 2 hours. Fuck no. The same way she glued her on her head, I slapped that wig on mine and came to that gala, got my award, and stepped the fuck on, period. If you was that invested in my motherfucking hair, like I said before, the second gala I went to, pay to get my motherfucking hair done. Y'all look at a critique and talk about what somebody look like, pay me to get it fixed. If you don't like the wig, donate a motherfucking wig for me to put on. Y'all love doing hair and makeup. Shout out to Rose and the Rose Collection. Support my girl. But yeah, all of that bullshit, it's just that. So, to your point, Manny, I jumped into it accidentally because I was tired. I really was. I was tired. I was drained. I left TikToking for months. They called me this stupid ass opposition page. I got every screenshot every time I was mentioned in the live because y'all failed to realize I had thousands of followers when I left TikTok. People that really was invested in me the same way they invested in y'all. And so they absolutely came and told me, Peach, they on so-and-so live talking about you. They on so-and-so. Absolutely they did that. And I think somebody tried to say, well, if they liked you, why did they come and tell you? Why do y'all like motherfuckers and come back and tell them people talking about them? Because you messy. The fuck? When y'all friends being talked about, y'all be sharing out the live and get on the phone calling them and telling them. But again, because it's me, I guess I wasn't supposed to know. I wasn't supposed to be told about it. That's weird as fuck. And when I heard that shit, I came back and addressed it. Caught them in $2 live, went up there in the panel with the person, got on camera. I'm not this opposition page. Please stop saying that shit. Hey, Peach. That's what Essence said. Hey, Peach. I know it wasn't Peach. I told y'all it wasn't him. And I'm thinking, okay, I done did that for y'all. Now I can go on about my business. Then next thing I know, a motherfucker talking about, well, that opposition is not Peach, but it's another one. It's the 304. That's the one that's Icon Peach. I don't have to say anything behind a fake fucking page. And that's another bone I got to pick with that bitch. Leia keep running her mouth talking about I was on a Sprite page. Anything I had to say, I can say from my own mouth. Why do I gotta hide behind a fake page and say something to you? Why? Y'all say diabolical shit to each other every day on this motherfucker and be back friends by the end of the week. Like I said, y'all have talked about each other's kids, family members. Y'all have did horrible shit to each other. And will be back cool in 2 to 3 business days. But for whatever reason, I have said the slightest shit to y'all, and it's like I can't move on from that shit. I just don't fuck with him. I just can't stand him. But this motherfucker done called your mama 20 bitches and then talked about how ugly your daughter is, and y'all back laughing and giggling. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
Maybe your words probably did eat them up. Because if you notice that to be the difference and everybody is kind of saying the same things, maybe your words were the things that really just ate them up that they can't get over
I
because
don't I don't think
you
it's
are
my words,
speaking from,
Manny. I think it's the fact that I don't want to play.
or it could be that too. So,
Because
I
I feel
mean,
like if I played and I did the back and forth and I did the lives for 12, 15 hours straight and did all the cussing and shit, it would be different. I think that some people look at me and feel like, oh, he think he too good to argue with me. He think he too good to go back and forth with me. But it's not that I think I'm too good. It's just that I really don't see the point. I can't speak for none of y'all, but I never really had no deep hatred towards none of y'all. Like I said, if I'm being honest, even with Trina, the root of our issues was always laugh. There were times when I first met Trina, I liked her. She was very smart. She could hold a conversation, and I didn't have a real issue with her. I didn't start feeling the way I looking at her crazy until Laugh was telling me, Trina be texting me saying that you know, why I'm cool with you, why I'm fucking with you. And I was like, why the fuck is she doing that? And then Laugh was on the other end saying, well, I don't fuck with her, I don't talk to her, I be ignoring her ass. And then the whole time, that they still talking and laughing and giggling. But
yeah,
Trina,
do that now.
what
So
you say,
that's why
Manny?
it's like, if it's easy for them to do that now, then they definitely should not be holding on to things that they got with you because they was just on panels together.
And they will continue to be even after she hear me say this, because Trina in her mind feel how she feels towards me. Oh, he's lying. She never did that. Laugh never did that. That's a fucking lie. Laughing like, but mind you, Trina was under my last page, and she literally was saying, "Peach, how can you feel how you feel?" I forgot. I think I was mad at Nowhere or somebody at the time. And she said, how can you feel how you feel and I understand how I feel when my friendship would laugh? And I dropped the ball in that moment because I really should have went to Trina and had a conversation. I can admit when I'm wrong. Like I really should have went to her and heard her out and looked at it from her side of the story. But I'm loyal to a fault. And I listened to what Laugh told me. And when Laugh was like, I don't fuck with Trina, that bitch is weird. She be texting me that. And she would telling me something so Trina would be texting her. And I would just be like, wow, that girl is really crazy.
Well, no, Trina did admit that a lot of things were on her. If you're speaking of the old Trina, if you're speaking of the old back in the day Trina, she did admit that a lot of things was her fault, her doing. It's all Trina. So, I think a lot of people who might have randomly had issues with Trina didn't really know where it come from. I think Trina did admit that, she had some growing to do.
I think that me and Trina never had any reason to have a real legitimate beef with each other. That don't mean that we was gonna be best friends, but I feel like a lot of these situations got so far gone from what they really should have been, and it was because other people were manipulating them. But until everybody want to have the real conversation and find resolution, we're never gonna get there. And so I feel like in that particular situation, because we have gone so far to hell on one another, she probably is never gonna really even have that with me and say, well, you know what, yeah, Peach, it probably was certain stuff said to you. Like cause I'm telling y'all, if you really looked at the timeline of some of this shit, it adds how you was texting her all this weird shit.
And I could believe that because Laugh has said something that speaks to this point right here. She has spoke to that her and a current friend kind of would get on the phone after a live and be like, "Oh, what did Trina da 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 da?" So I can kind of
Mhm.
see where that is some truth because she spoke to how her and a current friend would get offline and get on the phone and kind of inquire why would Trina yada yada yada.
Well, I can tell you it's not a friend, it's a cosigner. Laugh don't make friends. She finds co-signers. She finds people that will invest in her. I've listened to a mini sad story with Laugh. At the time, I believed her stories and I sympathize with her, but I will never do that again.
Yeah, I thought Laugh was an ally. She would kind of speak how she was an ally to the community and things of that nature. And it was definitely disheartening, the way that she treats you and her speaking of being like an ally and things like.
I think she's an ally for McDonald's. She may be an ally for Popeyes or one of these restaurants. She may be an ally to them because she supports them financially and she loves to eat. But when it comes to the community and being a friend, definitely not. Definitely not. And so again, today, I want her to say their names and I want her to list all of these men that she has put out into the atmosphere that I have had relations with.
Well, did she ever speak to you about any of her other friends in the community?
The only thing that we ever talked about, and I'm gonna stop being shady and I'm gonna go back to being for real. The only thing that we ever talked about when it comes to friends is that she had a cousin that was of the community and she spoke about the relationship with her cousin and that was kind of it. She talked about what she saw going on with her cousin and how they moved in certain men. And so she could pick up on certain things and certain moves that men would make. And she would say, "No, Peach, I think so and so is they suspect because I had a cousin. I know how to deal. I know how to download men or I know how to download men move." And so we would have those conversations. And again, Laugh would be in support of me. Laugh would be like, "Nah, Peach, you right. You ain't did nothing wrong." I'm telling you, it's Laugh moves whichever way the check is coming. So when I was in my prime on TikTok and I had a good amount of support, Laugh loved me. And when Laugh realized, well, now this person got the numbers and this person got the support, that's what she chose to go and align with. And I'm not mad at that. Again, she's a bottom feeder. Like, she wants to go where the money is because that's where she gets her coins from. But don't say that you're my friend. Don't sit on panels and cry and lie and act like we were just best friends when you was doing weird shit like that. Hey, Tia.
It just got me thinking. It's like, by you saying that y'all were never friends, and then like the way she is kind of perpetuating
Let me take it all the way back.
situations
Because like I
now.
said, at this point, I'm done with her, so I ain't even finna spare her no more. Let me take it all the way back. Let me go back to Siobhan. Let's go all the way back to when I first came on TikTok. Me and Siobhan were cool. I had met Siobhan because I was in this boy named Michael. I don't know if y'all know Michael. He's a battler now, but I was in Michael's live. And one day Siobhan was in his panel and I really liked her energy. I was like, Siobhan, this Siobhan girl funny. And so I think I followed her and I came into her live later on that night. And Boss Diva and all them was in the live. And I was like, Miss London was there. I was like, oh, I like Siobhan live. Like, we having fun, we laughing, we was talking about dumb shit. And Siobhan don't always talk the best. And I ain't finna dog past Siobhan because I'm past it. But what I will say is Siobhan don't always talk the best when she's communicating. I'm gonna say that. And so we had got a group chat, a group text, and we had exchanged numbers and we would be in there talking about stuff that happened on TikTok, just like everybody do. And I remember, I think we had a fallout or we had a disagreement or something. And Laugh had reached out to me. And she said, can I ask you something? And I was like, what's up? And I'm paraphrasing. This has been over 2 years now. I don't have that number no more, so this ain't word for word, but I'm just paraphrasing. I was like, what's up? And we got on the phone, and she was like, I don't like how Siobhan talks to you. I thought y'all knew each other off the app. I said, I just met her through the app. I don't know her off the app. And she was like, yeah, I don't like how she talked to you. And then she done disrespected me before in the past. And I was like, wow, like really? And Laugh was telling me her story of how she felt like Siobhan had disrespected her. And so from there, I began to trust Laugh. I'm thinking, well, this my homegirl. Like she done put me up on game and she riding with me and she supporting me. So again, I don't know how many of y'all remember. A few days later, I think maybe she had a live. Either she had a live or Bella had a live. One of them had a live. And this was way before we got the Bella Leon show. This is when Bella was just a panelist on Diamond Show. We went into that live and Laugh was like, yeah, I'm gonna put some shit on the floor because I'm tired of these fake motherfuckers. I'm from Dallas, I'm from Oak Cliff. The same bullshit that she do. And so I came up in the panel and that's when I first started talking shit about Siobhan. And then Bella had came up in the panel and Bella had expressed how she felt because I think her and Siobhan had. So that's how all of that even initiated. Because Laugh had reached out and was like, I'm going to support you because I see how she do you and I don't like this shit. But then in 2024, you on Breaking panel telling Siobhan, I apologize, Siobhan. You never did nothing to me. It was the other person that had us at odds with each other. The fuck? You're older than me, Laugh. How did I have you at odds with Siobhan? You chose to get in this shit. And you're the one who initiated the conversation about her. Not saying that she put a battery in my back because I'm a grown-ass man. I chose to separate from Siobhan. But a lot of how that was handled was due to Laugh kind of telling me like, nah, friend, like you're not wrong in how you feel. I don't like that shit. You supported a lot of shit and you co-signed a lot of shit privately, but then you come on TikTok and act like, oh, he been a problem and I've been saying shit and I've been checking him. You've never checked me. I think I heard her say that on the live yesterday. He came to my live crying and I said, get the fuck out of my face. Laugh, you couldn't walk a few months ago. And I tried so hard to find that DM thread between us, but I know for a fact, this girl said, Peach, I can't even walk and I'm crying about our friendship. And I was looking at that like, what? So that's what I'm saying. On Monday, Laugh loved me. Oh, I love Peach. That's my friend. I love Peach. On Wednesday, I don't fuck with him. He messy. I don't fuck with him. On Saturday, Sunday, we cool. I ain't got no problem with him. You don't know what we are because you keep changing depending on who you around. I can't respect that shit. If we friends, we friends. If we not, we not. But we were never friends because you don't know how to be a friend to yourself. Then with the nowhere shit, since she wanted to bring him up yesterday, I dropped the ball on a friend in that situation. And I'm going to be 100% accountable. Whatever miscommunication we were having, I should have never started coming on my lives, venting about it, talking about it, because all that did was perpetuate to some people that there was more going on in that friendship. I fucked that up. And I was hold myself accountable for that. But this same person, Laugh, was on the back end. Nah, friend, he moving weird, friend. It's something ain't right. I know a down low nigga when I see one, friend. I'm telling you, it's something weird with him. You was doing all of that. And then fast forward to the hype mic bullshit. And she gonna say in a panel, well, I couldn't save nowhere, but I'm gonna save hype Mike. I'm tired of him doing me and like this on the app. I can't respect you, bro. Like you you so fucking flip-floppy. You're so fucking flip-floppy. You held my hand and cried with me and all that privately, and then come on TikTok and try to go against me and act like I'm just the worst person. You're full of shit. And looking back at all of this shit as I'm saying it, if she was doing it to me, I don't know why I didn't see her doing it to Trina. But that was my friend. And like I said, when she was telling me, I don't fuck with Trina, she be texting me that, I really was believing, laughing, being like, well, damn. And then Trina be getting on live cussing and doing all this shit too. So I was like, well, damn, it's accurate. But seeing the games that she done played with me, this the same shit you did to that girl.
Yeah, I hate that Lab chose to do you in such a manner. Like I really hate that.
Trina,
Um
I will say this. If you can come up and have an adult conversation, I don't mind talking to you. But if you gonna come up and be yelling and all of that, I don't want to do that. Cause at this point, I feel like so much shit has been put out that's not even accurate. I'm just sharing my experience with this individual. What was you saying, Manny?
Yeah, no, I was just saying Trina did admit to that she had to do some growing, and a lot of things back in the days were kind of probably on her and not other people. So I'm sure she probably would be open to some things.
And I mean, I I've been disrespectful to Trina, and I've said stuff to her that was unwarranted. We all have a phase to go through. I had a phase to go through. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna just act like I've always had it together and had the best jobs. Hell, I had to work overnight at Walmart at one point. So you know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't have they shit they had to get through. But again, the foundation of a lot of my animosity towards this girl was because of the shit that Laugh was putting in my ear towards her. And I don't know if Laugh was doing it purposefully, but I feel like, because again, they had been on the app prior to me being on the app. So I feel like it was like I'm moving from you to this person. And then when it don't work out, she want to jump back over there with her again. Again, she don't have a leg to stand on. And so when me and Trina be going back and forth, why not be the big sis you claim to be and say, hold on, because I done talked about both of y'all, or I done said stuff to both of y'all. Let me clear the air and resolve this. Because it could have been that simple. But it would be times that I would say shit to Trina, she would sit back and laugh at it. Get her ass beat out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would encourage the shit. But then when you mad at me and you cool with Trina, oh yeah, Trina, I'm for you, fuck him. It's like you're the problem. And again, Laugh is older than me and Trina. Again, taking accountability for myself. I chose to do certain shit that was wrong to Trina. So I'm not gonna act like Laugh is a scapegoat and everything was her fault. I'm not gonna do that to her. I'm gonna take some accountability. But the foundation of me and this girl's problems stemmed from you. And you're not gonna skate out of this shit. So if you want to talk about the truth and tell the truth, tell the motherfucking truth. But Laugh don't know how to be honest. Laugh want to lie and deflect and change the fucking narrative. Which is why she wanted to try to say, I know all these men you slept with. What are you talking about? Name them. Say their names. I'm still waiting for her to say their names. And I want these men to come live and address her. Fuck all of that. I ain't finna come on the live. I'ma ignore Laugh. I'ma take the high road. I want her to get checked like she ain't been checked before. Cause I've never touched a motherfucker on this app. But she sure was screaming from her live that she knew people I done been with, so I'm waiting for her to say their names. And until she can do that, me and her ain't talking about shit.
Yeah, I don't know about the names per se. That would be cringy if Laugh would be trying to go that route of exposing some people that the people don't even know about. So hopefully Laugh doesn't choose that. But what I will say again, that I said earlier, is that I can definitely see a conversation of Laugh having, because what she did make clear is that even her and her current friend would wonder off the app on the back end about how Trina would be treating them or something Trina might have would have done. And so I could believe you as well, being somebody that was once Laugh's friend, air quote, I could see her doing that. So I definitely think you're telling the truth. I really do.
Yeah, I didn't know Trina to have a dislike towards her. And like I said, I remember, because I do remember certain stuff. We was in some live, and I remember Trina talking about this because I looked at her differently when she said it. We were talking about being of the community and being black and what that experience was like and how families accepted us and certain experiences we had had. And when Trina was talking, I was like, this girl really is a smart girl. Like, she be cutting up, but she's not no dumb girl. Like, she can hold a conversation. She's very intellectual. And I really looked at her in a different light. And I just think that it was little petty stuff. And again, people like laugh that caused that to kind of not grow further. Again, not saying that me and her was gonna end up being the best of friends, but I don't think it had to go as far as it did.
Yeah, so let me say this real quick, Peach. As far as like any in-depth conversation, I think just knowing our personalities, it might be better in private if that's something that you want to do. That
Yeah,
you
we
like.
can talk in private. I don't mind doing that.
But let me just say this up front, right? Anybody that knew Trina from back in the day, Trina Taylor, however, whatever my name, y'all know my real name, hell. Anybody that knew me knew, like, regardless of what Laugh said, Pav said, or Dav said, baby, I was a mother lover. Do you understand me? I was in a dark space. It really didn't take too much of nothing. You could have looked at me funny, and I felt it was wrong, and I would have went smooth on. So I don't want to put too much of that on her because, again, a lot of that was me, right? A lot of me and Peach's interactions was probably because me and Peach was in a bad space. I don't know. But what I will say is I don't hold against people what they did in a dark space because I don't want nobody to do that to me, right? I want people to see my growth and see like, okay, the bitch was crazy. And then, I mean, I still am. But she's trying, she's growing. So we good, Peach. Like I said, if you want to have a conversation, we can. I don't, as far as what's going on, I'm going to go ahead and keep my opinions to myself. That's my growth for you. Because I feel like saying my opinion will cause me unnecessary drama. But I will send you my telephone number on this page. And like I said, we can have a conversation on the back end.
And I'll call you. And I want to say publicly, Trina, I apologize for the disrespect that I showed to you. Because like you said, we are all going through different phases and places in life. And a lot of that was unwarranted. And it was, again, partially me trying to be a friend to somebody or me trying to protect a friend and me just being petty. And you have grown a lot. You are doing better for yourself. And it's not really my place to continue to try to remind you of your past because nobody wants that done to them. So I want to apologize for that.
And I do accept your apology. Yeah. But I want to say I don't feel you owe me one because, baby, we was in the paint. I will apologize to you as well, but we was in the paint, Peach. And me and you, you know, we some readers, we some eaters. So when you in the paint, hey, you in the paint. And it would be one thing if I didn't get in the paint with you. There were some times I felt like you were being antagonistic, but I know you probably felt the same with me. So, hey, we was in the paint. It is what it is. We not no more. So I'm going to send you my number. And then, like I said, we got a conversation if you get up, feel like calling me.
I will.
But, okay.
Beautiful.
I'm about to finish getting ready for work. Peach, I go to lunch at 2. So if you call me before then or after then, I don't get off till 7. So I'm not ignoring.
I'll call you like 2:05.
All right, that's cool. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Wow, Trina, this is so beautiful. I love this. It's so beautiful. Peach, you're doing awesome. You are doing so awesome, Peach. You go, Peach. This is a wonderful live. I'm loving it.
Thank you. Manny, what are you doing?
Observing.
I thought you had another question.
No, I'm just basking in the moments.
Yeah, I at the end of the day, this is who I am at my core. I don't really want to argue with nobody. You know what I'm saying? I want to come on here, laugh and have fun and then get off the app. And I don't want to do like the hateful shit. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I feel like releasing certain people that I was attaching myself to, it allows me to be in that space. Because I have to learn people from my experience. I think that Sophia just said that in the comments about seeing who people are. So much of my lens for certain people was through somebody else's eyes and what somebody else said about that person. And I really want to take the opportunity to get to know people for myself because I think everybody's experience with somebody is not the same. So that's why I'm at with it. But I'm still waiting for that list of names. I'm still waiting for that list because I'm sorry, that was diabolical to me. To just lie like that and then stand on the lie and double down on the lie. Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping she don't come up with a list of names, but I'm also was thinking like, was her radar off because you insinuated that she was kind of like on the back end. I'm assuming seconding you in your interactions with some men or some men's interactions with you, and then it seems like later she kind of reneged on her radar.
So, because again, at this point, I'm tired of talking in code. Me and her talked about Nowhere. That was my friend at the time. And she said she felt like he was down low. I remember when he went to Chef Foxy's live and he talked what he talked and he kind of tried to clown me on the live. And I played her them voicemails. If y'all ever heard the voice, I'm not gonna play it now. I'm gonna let Nowhere be. But I played her that voicemail. And she said, oh, hell no, he gay. You should have played. You better than me, Peach. I would have played that shit on the live. And I was like, well, I didn't want to do that to him. Because I was kind of shocked how the situation had spanned out. So that was that situation. There wasn't another man that we really talked about other than Mike. That was kind of the next situation that me and her talked about. And it was very surface with him. But when certain things started to happen, like, because I didn't know he was married. And again, just to be clear, there was never nothing going on between me and him. The man is straight. But I didn't know he was married. And I remember telling her, like, girl, you know that man married. And she was like, Peach, I didn't know that. And I was like, yeah, he married. So we, it was stuff like that. But when shit started to go left, she tried to paint this narrative like, oh, you been coming to him and I been seeing how you talk to him and how you been wanting him. And I just thought that at that point it was like bullshit to me. Because it's like, that's not the truth. So why would you even help perpetuate that narrative? I don't think that them same men that be feeling like Laugh is a friend should consider her a friend any longer. Because Laugh isn't a friend, she's an opportunist. And whatever narrative she need to help paint, again, to get her a couple gifts, to get her a couple coins, that's the narrative that she's going to paint.
Now, I mean, I ain't really want to speak to this aspect, but it's kind of giving me this aspect. Do you think maybe in her past a LGBT man or woman might have taken one of her people? Like, I'm kind of seeing that in this with you and her's interaction. It's like she wants to be close, but she really don't like you, just to turn around and burn you. As if a LGBT might have taken one of her people.
Well, I don't know how many people she's had because from what she's always told me, she's been with the same man since 7th grade. And so she always says, I've had the same man for 21 years and we've dated since I was in the 7th grade. And so I know that's what she always says. I don't know if he enjoys being intimate with her because when she would be live, she would always talk about having to get off and give head, never getting bent over. So I don't know if he was open to being, intimacy, but he probably enjoyed the head. And I mean, she do have some spaced out teeth, so I'm sure she wasn't biting it too much if it was anything to bite. So I don't know what her experiences have been. I really don't. But what I do know is that she kept changing the narrative. She kept doing it. And to me, that's not what a friend does. At any time in these situations, if you felt like I was in the wrong, why not say that in the moment? Like I said, with the first dude, you told me he was down low. Then when you get mad at me, you talking about he was justified and he was never like that. Like you're weird. I'm telling y'all, I'm so ready to talk to Trina. Like I can't. I can't because I'm positive if you were telling me stuff, I'm sure you was telling her shit. I'm positive that you were doing that because you're a manipulator. Hey, Miss T. I was not planning to be on live this long.
Yeah. Oh, Peach.
I mean, I feel like, man, you getting the most raw peach that I have ever given TikTok.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that because definitely I noticed you was over there, which you've always been over there, you know, that ain't nothing new. So you was chilling, relaxing. And that's what I was noticing. You was chilling and relaxing. So when you just popped out just recently, with this, I was like, oh,
Yeah, because I'm tired of the picking, especially if I haven't done nothing to you. Like I said, with me and Trina, I done went to hell with that girl. So any way she feel towards me, I'm not mad at her for that. But with Laugh, I've been so supportive of you, so supportive of you. It don't even make no sense. It don't. And like I said, for you to try to, I can really put stuff on the floor, please. Because when you do that, you're going to expose yourself. Did we talk about people in our text messages? If she want to post text messages, we sure did. We sure did. And the same people I talked about, she talked about them right along with me. So you can't post no message where I talked about somebody and you said, well, Peach, I ain't gonna say nothing. You was right there dragging their ass too. So you can't play that game with me. Oh, I'm gonna expose you. I can really put some stuff out that make people stop fucking with you. You have nothing. Because if you had it, you would have put it out back in October, right? When I was saying I was leaving it out. Remember that? You would have put it out back in October. When you was trying to put the nail in my coffin in. So anything that you try to do now, you're trying to fabricate and come up with some stuff, which is why she made the assumption or whatever you want to call it. I know all the men you done slept with. Name them. Say their names. I'm not letting her go. I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all may be tired of me saying it. I'm not letting that go because honestly, that has been the biggest trigger for me on TikTok. Everybody that had their triggers on this app. The accusations that have been put on my body with all these different men has been the most triggering shit for me. Because every time I get cool with a dude, they say I'm messing with him. Me and Duffy have been cool because I'm in FOE and Neutralized. I heard somebody on the panel saying, oh, I can't peach over there with Duffy, insinuating we finna have some shit going on. And this man is a married fucking man. And then these same people will say in the comments, well, I don't care about nobody's sexual preference and whatever somebody do, that's their business. To me, that's homophobia. I'm sorry. Insinuating that I'm sleeping with these men when you know these men straight because you mad at them at the time, to me is a form of homophobia. They had a whole press run. If y'all remember, they had a whole press run back in October. Oh, Peach is so predatory and he's so dangerous and we got to protect these men from Peach. We got to y'all are the ones perpetuating this shit. You're the ones perpetuating it. I will take accountability. Hear me loud and clear. Babs, I was definitely saying I like Babs and making little jokes to Babs. And if that made Babs uncomfortable, I apologize. Now, when I would say this shit to Babs, he'll be like, Peach, I'm going to get you. He didn't really take it to heart, but he is a straight man, okay? And so if he felt like, you know, I'm uncomfortable with you doing it, I can apologize for that. I don't mind saying shit I need to apologize for. But half the shit that was being said about me was other people spreading the bullshit and people running with it. Me and Good Yellow went to fucking DC. I never posted or said shit sexual to that boy on TikTok. And you had people going around saying, oh, I heard Peach and Good Yellow did something in DC. Because they was mad at Good Yellow. Or they was mad at me at the time. And nobody got in no panel and said, hey, don't do that. That shit ain't cool. Motherfuckers sat back and laughed at this shit and helped spread this shit. When you're not in the popular club, ain't too many people finna come speak up for you and say shit be out of pocket. But when it's somebody that everybody love and fuck with, everybody cuss your ass out and you drop the shit and we move on from it. I had a girl tell me this morning in my live, I know for a fact you done messed with KO Laugh King. I heard it out of my own ears. Because he got on a fucking panel talking about some text messages. The text messages that me and KO had was a fucking troll. It was a troll joke. And KO has came to me and apologized and said, Peach, I was wrong. I didn't understand the situation, bro. I didn't mean it like that. But nobody has listened to him and said, okay, we're going to leave it alone. They was telling him yesterday me and him done fuck. And I know Braid King was trolling, but it was said to him yesterday that. And so while some of y'all are trolling, it's people that's listening to y'all that's really thinking this shit is real. And I don't like this shit because I'm not hold out like that. But if you listen to half of these fucking lies, they just be putting my name with anybody on the fucking app.
That is so messed up. That's ridiculous.
I had to take a deep breath before I got emotional. Because this shit, like, it really does bother me. Like, I'm being for real. It really does bother me because I don't see that done to nobody else. And I know for a fact the only reason why it's done to me is because of my orientation. So Cole has been one of my best friends on this platform. That man has never came at me sexually, never had no shit like that. And a motherfucker went to Diamond's live and put that shit out there that me and him had some shit going on. And then these same people would turn around when me and be homophobic and say, well, why you so homophobic? If you not like that, why do it bother you? Because you motherfuckers sitting up putting labels on them that bothers them. They was talking about me and Fireman. And me and Fireman ain't never had shit going on. But again, it's a joke or it's considered to be funny. But you don't understand how dangerous the shit is. I live in Atlanta. Do you know how many, and it is a lot of LGBT here, but a lot of trans men and women get unalived in Atlanta. They be finding motherfuckers in trash cans. And if anybody's of that lifestyle, I don't want to trigger you, but I'm keeping it real at this point. They be finding motherfuckers in trash cans because somebody has had a relationship with them and was scared it was going to come out and unalive them. And so when you're sitting up here attaching me to some of these straight men, you don't know how that shit can go down the line. Like I said, I can take accountability for my mouth. I was saying certain stuff to Babs, saying he was cute and shit. And I was wrong for that. I can admit that. And if it was another man I may have said something to that he felt uncomfortable with, I can admit that. But a lot of this shit that's been said...
But we're not going to take away... Hold on. But we're not going to take away the fact that these men and women have to also have some self-respect to understand that you can receive compliments from both genders, and you have to be confident in yourself to be able to accept that, because they can't take that away from any individual.
A lot of men, Manny, that are on this side that I have encountered never had an issue when they initiated. A lot of them, like I said before, Even going back to Nowhere. Nowhere DM me his phone number. I didn't put my number in his DMs and say, hey, Nowhere, can you text me? Can you call me? He gave me his phone number. Other men have given me their phone number, said, Peach, call me, text me, reach out to me if you need something. Me and you friends, we got a brotherhood or whatever. So, surprisingly, a lot of the men on the platform have been very mature and open to having a relationship, a friendship. But it's because people start to seeing, well, why he always in Peach live? Why him and Peach always atting each other? Why him and Peach always talking? And they begin to bullshit. Now you got fake pages saying the dumb shit. Now you got these men getting DMs saying, are you gay? Are you in the closet? Come out the closet. And then they start looking at me crazy. Oh, well, I wasn't getting called until I was being cool with you. It reminds me of like junior high school shit. I'm not gonna lie. It gives me very much junior high school type shit.
I'm about to get caught slipping. I just want to say that I love you, Peach, and I just want to apologize on behalf of anybody that might have created a unfair narrative towards you, or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm auntie, and I love you down. And if you need anything, I'm here for you.
I love you too. Is Manny asking me another question? I thought we was doing an interview.
Peach. Peach.
I appreciate y'all apology.
You kind of cover everything. Like you yourself kind of telling your story covered everything technically. Nothing's really per se needed because you've kind of carried and covered everything.
And I will, and Manny, I will say this to you because I think this is the missing part to our dynamic. Because of a lot of that, like I just told you, I was dealing with on the back end and the narratives and stuff. When me and you started interacting in Diamond's platform, I was very territorial because I felt like I didn't fought to be over here. Like I didn't went through the rumors. I done had to defend myself against James and all them. Like I wasn't trying to share that space with you. And it caused me to not be the nicest towards you. I'm happy that we've been able to develop something a lot greater since then, but I never really got to say that to you. And I never really took accountability for how I felt. I think in the beginning, I just looked at you like it was your fault. But in telling everything that I've experienced on this platform, that's a lot of the reason why I was acting like that. Because it was like, who is this motherfucker coming over here and, and popping his shit and saying what he want to say? Like, who is this? And so I respect what you've built, and I understand, if nobody else, what you have to endure. Because it may look easy to start that live button and have them thousands come into your lives and host those panels, but I know what comes with that. And I know the ridicule and I know the conversations. And so I'm so proud of what you've built with your platform and the following that you have immense with so many people that love and support you. And so I wanted to say that to you because, like I said, when I got to meet you and hug you and talk to you, I didn't want that day to end. Like, I really wanted us to hang out more. I was so sad when you said you didn't live in Georgia. I'm like, I don't even live in Georgia. We can hang out all the time.